This is the 2026 Chevrolet Trax Activ, an inexpensive gas sipper. And in today's Vehicle Visionary video, we're going to give you all the details if this is something you may want to buy. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Chevy Land in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. Here on the front end, you will find a consistent look as far as the different SUV models across the Chevrolet brand. Now you will find LED headlights that are going to be low and high beams and your LED daytime running lights. Those are the only LED lights on this model, but for something that's costing less than $26,000 or less than $28,000, I should say, that's not too bad. We're going to have our upper grille right here, separated with this area with our Summit White exterior color, your Chevrolet bow tie logo, and then the larger lower grille. Work our way down and you're going to find some gloss black here. I do like the different finishes that are here. I know it's a little dirty, but it's pollen season here in Northwest Louisiana, so it's kind of hard to keep clean. One way or another, it has a sporty look to it. I like what Chevrolet has done here. Now, this particular model is going to be front-wheel drive. That's going to work for some people, but all-wheel drive, not in this particular case. As far as your wheel setup goes, these are going to be the 18-inch gloss black machined aluminum wheels. Going to get the job done. They look nice, and you're going to have that extra sidewall with your tire because of the size of the wheels. That's going to actually give you an improved ride quality. We do have the surround on the fenders that works its way all the way around the body. Nice that that's not the body color. I think that works here with this particular trim level. Now, as far as your side view mirrors go, they're going to be manually folding, no turn signal indicators built in, but everything else is here. They're power adjustable, they're heated, and as you can see right here on this side, they're also going to have blind spot monitoring built in. So quite a bit going on where that's concerned. Here is your key fob, lock, unlock. You do have remote start and your panic button. Just see what's going on with the back of that. There's also going to be a mechanical key located inside in case you need to get into the vehicle if the key fob battery dies. And if you're wondering what this button right here is, that is passive entry. You can lock and unlock all four doors with that button. And while the price point isn't really high, it would be nice to see that just be standard. If it's on the front door handles, it should also be here on the rear. Now, this model will not have a sunroof, but it will have the roof rails up top, so you can buy crossbars and increase your cargo capacity. This is a very small SUV, so that would be helpful. We'll work our way around here. As I mentioned, you don't have LED tail lights. Those LED lights on the front are the only ones you're going to have. Going to have the exposed rear window wiper, a very small rear roof spoiler, but it works. It looks nice. The Chevrolet bow tie logo will be right here. Now, one thing to note here is that while this model is rated to tow about 1,200 pounds, it's not recommended that you do towing with this particular model, but in a pinch, if you need to tow up to 1,200 pounds, well, you could. Now, one reason why you're going to have a gas sipper here. This is a 1.2 liter inline 3-cylinder. It is a turbocharged engine. It makes 137 horsepower and 162 pounds-feet of torque. It is not mated to a CVT, however. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. That will bring 2 thumbs up for sure. 0 to 60, about 8.5 seconds top speed. If you're going downhill with the tailwind, 115 miles per hour. Now, let's talk about our MPGs. We're looking at 28 city, 32 highway, 30 combined, and 3.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And you'll find a 13.2 gallon gas tank. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 370 miles in the city and about 420 miles out on the highway, depending on how you drive and where you drive. If you're doing a lot of stop and go or whatever you're doing, you may achieve those numbers. You may be a little below, you might be above. And how about your cargo area? Let's talk about the details back here. Now, you don't have a power lift gate or tailgate back here, but you can see it's dampened. Once you start to lift up on that, it's going to come up on its own. Cargo capacity will range between 25.6 up to 54.1 cubic feet if you maximize everything out. You can easily remove the cover right here. You just take these off right here on both sides. It lowers down and you can basically bump it off of its mounting point up there. Pretty easy to deal with as far as that goes. And one of the nice little goodies that you're going to find here is the presence of a spare tire. So that's good to know. You can see one of the options here. We've got the cover on the floor right here to help keep everything nice and clean as far as the carpet goes. Now you won't find LED lighting, but there is some lighting back here in the cargo area, so at least you have something to work with. The interior is jet black with Artemaeus accents. That's what you're going to see right here. It actually sets things off quite nicely. I like that. Not a whole lot to talk about back here. You do have the oh crap handles in case the driver drops the hammer on 137 horsepower. You'll have a little bit of storage space right here on the rear of the center console, and above that, a couple of USB ports. Now in an interior of this size, you really don't need the rear air conditioning vents back here. Not as big of a deal. Now let's talk about the door panel over there real quick. You do have the armrest. It is plastic. That needs a little bit of padding on it, but at this price point, maybe not a big surprise. The door bin does offer a reasonable amount of space for storage within, and as I mentioned earlier, you don't have a sunroof in this model. For those of you that don't want a sunroof, that'll get the thumbs up as well. Now keep in mind, the average vehicle price right now is a little above $50,000 in the United States. I know some of you are watching from other places. Tell us what the average price is where you're watching from on a new vehicle. Let's see what else you get for that price. Not a whole lot to talk about with our upper console up here. You got your lighting if you want to take advantage of that. You can see you have OnStar. All that good stuff is going to be here. Now, you do have the rear view mirror that you can dim by moving that lever forward just like that. That's all we had to talk about right there. We'll move our way down, and I do like the design of everything here as far as the dash area goes, working our way across. The air conditioning vent over there looks sporty. That's a good thing. You will have your typical glove box down there as far as this area goes, and take advantage of showing you what's right there. And there's something that I know a lot of you are going to like, a physical owner's manual. That's a good thing. I know a lot of you have said that that's not something you always get, but you do here with the Trax. That's worth the money right there, isn't it? It's not in the center screen, and it's not on your phone. Now we're going to look over here at the door panel on the passenger side. Again, we're going to have that nice contrast stitching. I like that. A little bit larger armrest, but once again, no padding built in right there. It's just plastic. And before I grab the camera, I want to show you something real quick right here. I like that you have the Activ logo on the headrests, but I always wonder, why is that not also on the rear headrests? It should be on all headrests in the vehicle. At least that's my thought on the matter. Here's where you're going to control your lighting. As far as your headlights and taillights go, you can just leave that on auto and you're good to go. No seat memory here, but the driver's seat is power adjustable. The passenger seat is manually adjustable. The driver's seat also has lumbar support. You can lock and unlock the windows, adjust your side view mirrors. Now you do have one touch down windows at all four doors, but you will have to hold the switch up for all windows. None of them are one touch up. Right here is the lever we can drop to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Everything for your cruise control will be right here, and then everything for going through whatever you need to on the driver's display will be here as well. So we can go through a few different things, not too much, but you can go through radio, all that kind of stuff. As you can see, choose what you're going to listen to. It just depends on what your personal desires are with that. On the rear of the steering wheel, we're going to have the controls right there for the volume. Over here, we're going to have the controls for what you're listening to, and then we have our auto high beams. Right there is the button for that. This is also your turn signal lever for those of you that have been to turn signal school and know how to use your blinkers. Front and rear window wipers controlled right here. Now, I like the fact that the center screen is angled towards the driver. In fact, this whole area that's driver focused. That's a good thing. Something else I like, if you're looking for a minimalistic setup, this is it. You don't have too much to deal with here. Now, you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. As you can see right here, you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You can go in here to climate, depending on what you need to do. Now, you do have physical controls, so don't worry. This isn't the only option you have, but then you can come in here and go to settings. And we have a few different things going on here. Depending on what area you choose, we can go with system, we can go with apps. You can see what's there, audio, phone, and OnStar. Here's where you're going to come to adjust your sound. So if you want to manage that, it's going to be very easy to do right here to adjust how the stereo sounds. That's a good thing. How about vehicle? Let's go under that area. So you've got teen driver if you want to set that up, your rear seat reminder, your climate and air quality. We can come in right here and see what's going on there. Auto defog for front and rear, so that's nice to have. That's going to automatically come on when you need it to. And how about your safety features? There are quite a few here to talk about. You have automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, and then you're going to have your lane change alert, also park assist, rear camera park assist symbols, and rear cross traffic alert. And you can come in here and turn these on and off if you want to, just like that. Now I'm going to go into reverse. We'll show you the rear view camera. There it is. Only camera on the vehicle, but at least it's here. You can turn those trajectory lines on and off if you want to. Now we'll come down here and look at our climate control setup. You do have single zone climate control here, but it's still a good thing. You can come in here and adjust your temperature, adjust your fan speed. You can turn your front and rear window defoggers on, adjust where the air is flowing. They're pretty easy to deal with. We're also going to have a little bit of storage space right down here. We're going to get that out of there for you so you can see what's going on in this area. A couple of USB ports and a 12-volt power outlet for connectivity. You can turn on your lane keeping assist right here if you want to, and you can turn off or on depending on what you want to do, that auto stop start. Conventional style shifter is going to be here, no push button where that is concerned. You've got park, reverse, neutral, drive, and that L means low. The transmission will stay in low gear in low traction situations, but you still have all of the horsepower and torque of the engine available. Right here, our cup holders with a little bit of that gloss black, giving you that kind of a fancy look, right? For less than $27,000. Power parking brake is right here, and a little bit of storage space in front of the center console. Now, depending on how big your forearms are and person riding in the passenger seat, you may or may not be able to use this at the same time. I don't know. It's not very big, but you can use that as an armrest, and there is the space within. Okay, here we go on a quick test drive with the Trax. It's not expected to be a hot rod, so you're not going to be flying down the road, but it does seem to do a good job of getting up to speed when you need it to. The ride quality is good. It's a little bit on the rigid side, but not too bad. For a shorter wheelbase SUV, I'd say it's definitely acceptable. The driver's seat seems to be pretty comfortable, although I'm not spending a lot of time in this seat, so hard to say how it work on a long-term drive, say a couple of hours or something like that. Maybe some of you owners can actually give us some information in the comments section about that. The brake pedal and the gas pedal, easy to deal with. The steering is nice and responsive. You've got a little bit of play in it, but it's not too bad. This is by no means a high-performance vehicle, so you aren't going to expect things such as super tight steering or anything like that. But for what you're paying for, you do get quite a bit. Easy to learn technology, a lot of great safety features, as I told you about earlier in the video and showed you on the center screen. And actually quite a bit of room here in the front seat area, a reasonable amount in the back, and a lot of adjustability built here into the driver's seat between the seat itself and the steering wheel, so everybody should be able to set things up just fine where they're nice and comfortable, not going to have any issues where that is concerned. Overall, for what you're paying for, if you're looking at a new vehicle and saying, you know what, Tom, I need a new vehicle, but I want something that's not super expensive, it's not going to cost me a lot at the gas pump, this is definitely something to consider. Doesn't have an overload of technology, but does have some here that's going to do a good job of helping you out as far as your safety features go. The rear view camera is here. All of that's here for under $27,000. And there it is, the 2026 Chevrolet Trax Activ, an inexpensive gas sipper. Not going to cost you a lot to buy, and definitely not going to cost you a lot at the pump. Really good on gas. A lot of great features and functionality here as far as the technology goes for what you're paying. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I would like to say a special thanks to our friends at Chevyland for loaning us this Trax for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful and appreciated. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.